What's going on, family? This is episode 75 of the Pharaohs Podcast. I'm your host, Solomon, and I am joined, as always, by Mr. What's Good himself, Israel.
What's good?
What's good? What's going on, bro? How you feeling? Are you up here? Look, it's always dinner time when Israel is on, y'all.
Man. I just got through eating some pizza. Been pretty good, busy, trying to get it, working and chilling and trying to see my peoples,
Yeah.
family and friends. Yeah. How you been?
Can you believe we have made it up to 75 episodes of the podcast?
Man, that's crazy. That's what's up.
We 25 away from 100, y'all. 25 away from 100. Um,
For this year?
but before we 25 away. Hey, grandma, how you doing?
Uh,
Yeah, we almost at 100, y'all. Almost at 100. But before we get into all of that, man, we had missed last week, but we got a lot to talk about. So if if you want to diverge inside, of what you want to talk about first, you could do that about how your weekend was or the past couple weekends, because I got a
um,
lot to talk about.
hold up, give me a second.
Okay.
um,
Unless you want me to go
let's see.
first.
You can go first.
Okay, so how my weekend was now back before y'all, it was like what Valentine's Day weekend. I didn't do anything because I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, but I also thought about like how much how many people were in a good mood like that Sunday going into after that Valentine's Day. Everybody was just so happy. And I just was like, oh, look at everybody in a good mood because they had their little Valentine or whatever. Some people showed up and showed out, and some people
That's
didn't.
what's up.
But
That's what's up.
that led into, of course, February 17th, which is Founders Day. But that weekend of Valentine's Day was a lot. Like I had worked and it was a lot of people who were going out and like celebrating, they were going to different restaurants and stuff like that. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, I hope that people are not just doing this um
For clout.
on Valentine's Day. I hope they do it more than just Valentine's Day. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, celebrate your love outside of just one day, family. Celebrate your love of your significant other. Give gifts randomly, give random hugs, make people feel love. We are living in a time where there's a lack of love. But that was Valentine's Day weekend. And then the weekend that just passed just now. Had a good time, hung out with some of the men from the church. We went to Home Run Inn Pizzeria and had a good time there with, you know, hanging out with them and eating pizza and just communing with the brothers. That was my weekend, really, last weekend. And before that, hung out with my musketeers. I call them the princess of the church. We went to the Balloon Museum, bro.
Dang, that was nice. I seen some of the videos. They look good.
Man, it was so fun going to the Balloon Museum. People need to go check that out. It's very cool. And yeah, get to the Balloon Museum. Take your friends, take your kids, your children, not kids. Kids are goats. Take your children, take your family, take your friends. Even you can even have
Significant
that
other.
as your significant other. You can take that even as a date. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's a nice little
You
spot to
know,
go on a date too.
we saw some couples there. So yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to everybody at the Balloon Museum. But how was your couple weekends, the Valentine's
Man,
Day and even last week?
let's say Valentine's Day was busy.
Mm,
I got a chance to get out, go out with my lady friend. You know,
mm.
uh, let's see, went out to eat, of course, and restaurant and lounge. and the weather was nice. You know, it's been nice down in the A. It's been nice. It's been at least like 70 something degree weather. It's been amazing. So I got a chance to see that. You know, get outside, be on my bike, be on my motorcycle, do some motorcycle stuff. Um, let's see, last weekend or the weekend that just passed, it was good too. You know, 70 some degrees Friday. Had to see the dentist. Perfect. Y'all gotta make sure y'all get y'all teeth done, checked out, clean, things of that nature. Feel like the dentist is up there with surgery, man. I felt some type of way because after I was done with the dentist, I'm like, man, I'm tired of y'all. You know, y'all been playing in my mouth for like 2 hours, or I've been here for a minute. You know, wasting daylight. It shouldn't have been that long, but went to the dentist and then got to get outside and bitty bop around the city. You know, one side work out, another side. Yeah, it was good. Went to a step show. You know, for my Greek people, the fraternities, sororities.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. A step show.
Yeah, I went to a step show. I went to
Okay.
see one of my motorcycle bros. He up in a fraternity, and they was stepping. You know, they had some fraternity stepping, sorority stepping. You know, you probably would have found a couple of queens if you was there. You know, you would have found
Yeah.
some. Like, you know, nah.
Well, that's crazy that you're talking about uh fraternities right now because we have asked the Pharaohs question later on the episode today
Mm.
about that. So, yeah, that's cool.
I
That's
be in
what's up.
tune, man. I be in tune. Yeah, it was a busy weekend. And then a motorcycle weekend, meeting and back to work. Now I'm back at work. Yeah, whole bunch of life changes. You know? Yeah, that's my last couple of weekends.
Yeah. Well, speaking of life changes, brother, we got to talk about some things that is life changing. And I just thought about how two things that happened this past weekend. And that makes me think of one of my favorite segments, and I know a couple other people' favorite segments.
Is it
And
disrespectful?
is it disrespectful?
Oh, oh, snap.
All right, family. So we got a situation right now. So apparently 50 Cent and T.I. have been going back and forth talking about should they do a versus, which is, the versus is also the platform that Timberland and the producer Timberland and Swiss Beats came up with, where they have different uh rappers or entrepreneurs or whoever it is to come and do a versus with challenge with each other, with going against hit for hit, song for song. And so they've been trying to get T.I. and 50 Cent to do this back and forth, right? 50 Cent supposedly really not, you know, messing
Doing
with it
his
for
own
real,
thing,
for real.
right?
Yeah, he
You know,
he kind of busy. He ain't really,
he
first it
more
was a
so
talk.
trolling, man. You know,
Yeah, I
big
thought it was
troll.
gonna be something real. Well,
Nah,
apparently, family, it has gotten to the point where T.I. has been going around, basically like, hey, what's up? Asking, is we gonna do this or not? Well, 50 Cent decided to post a picture of his wife, Tiny, T.I.'s wife, Tiny, on social media and said that, keep my name out your mouth. Which then his son King responded to 50 Cent, cussing him out, all types of, derogatory language, and said and he posted a picture of 50 Cent's mother's grave site.
wow, that's
And he
crazy.
said, y'all gonna stop playing. Don't play with my mama. You can play with whoever mama's with. Don't play with my mama. So Israel.
What did 50 Cent do to respond to that? Like, how do you respond to that?
I don't think he responded just yet.
It's just like, what was he? He just posted a picture of the grave site. Like, did he deface the grave site or
Nah, he
something?
ain't do nothing like that. He just posted the grave site, basically saying, oh, he said F yo uh BA and dig up your mama. That's what King
Wow.
said.
Yeah, that's
So
disrespectful.
okay.
And retaliation, I probably send him a picture of him, not knowing it's a picture of him. Like somebody took a picture of him, like in his car or something, or at his house. Like, yo, he let you know I'm outside. I see you.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
you gangster with
yeah,
it.
like, yo. So you want to take pictures of that? Oh, guess I know where you at. I see you. Look, this is you. You don't see this happening? Like, yeah, yeah. You wonder how you know that car came from over here. It's all of a same. Like, look.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly, King. I understand that you going, stand for your mom 10 toes down, and nobody's telling you not to. But there, you can't go too crazy with it,
You
okay?
gotta stay out of
Like,
grown folks' business. That's man to man. Hey, look.
well, see, that's another thing, right? So I understand that it's between 50 Cent and Ti, two grown men, established rappers or whatever. But he's speaking up for his mom
He don't even
because
be
he's
speaking. He should have just showed it to his dad, cause that ain't his beef. Yeah, that's your
mm.
mama, but it's A and B. Now you trying to see your way in before you probably gonna see your way out. Just so, it's like, yo, when you hear your parents arguing, don't say nothing. Go in the other room. Go somewhere and sit down. You hear your dad talking, that's grown folks' business. You stay out of it.
Mm,
Look,
mm.
that's something you put to the side or you bring to your pops. Like, yo, pops, he said this, that, that. I wouldn't get up in it. I just bring it to his attention. But I'm like, yo, if it ain't directed to me, I'm gonna bring it to the attention of who is directed to.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
people
toughie. I
problem.
don't.
They don't know. They don't know how to stay in their lane. That's it. Yeah.
So for me, of course, I'm gonna say that's definitely disrespectful for you to go ahead and like post a picture. First of all, of course, we know 50 Cent was disrespectful for posting Tiny, but then
What
also
did he say? I want to say what was the
he
post
just
underneath the
the
post?
post when he posted Tiny, he said to Ti, basically keep my name out your mouth about doing the verses. But I thought it was
Oh,
lighthearted trolling of like we ain't gonna do the verses, but we gonna like I'm thinking they gonna do the verses. I think now it has gotten too disrespectful because of the son King posting the grave site and talking about dig your mama up. I just think that's a little too
what does that
much.
have to do with anything? Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean that's mad disrespectful to the left. But yeah, I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if he came up missing. But
What Israel? What are you talking about? Come up,
I know,
Mister. Oh
right?
my
I
god.
mean, he just don't find his way home one day, you know.
Oh
But
my
but
god.
hey,
Oh my god.
but he shouldn't see his way in the grown people business at this point. He should have just showed his pops, and then had just let it continue to be day back and forth, and not see your way in it. Cause yeah,
Well, I feel like 50 Cent son should say something now. That's what I think.
yeah, probably so. But
They about the same age, I think.
yeah,
So
his son hate his daddy too. So 50
yeah.
Cent son really hate him. So he'll probably be on their side. So yeah.
Okay. My next isn't disrespectful. So Michael B. Jordan and Delory Lindo at the BAFTA Film Awards, right? They were going up and presenting an award, and a guy who has Tourette syndrome, John Davison, was heard shouting a racial slur during their presentation, and it said he shouted nigga, and he said the B word. So, Israel,
Somebody
is it
said,
disrespectful for they claim that the man has Tourette syndrome for him at that specific time, once they come up to the mic to present an award, two black men were visibly shouting out
Dang,
nigga and
you
b
seeing
word.
all the tea. Like if he would have did it the whole night, I could see it, okay?
Right.
But one, I'll be like, yo, you gotta ban that dude and whoever brought him. Like who brought him? Both of y'all is banned for life. Like nah, y'all need to get banned unless you pay this astronomical fine to both of them, cause that's mad
Mhm.
disrespectful. And
Yeah.
Black History Month, like what?
Yeah.
Both, yeah, no excuses. No, like nah, you knew he had Tourette's. Yeah, you definitely need to pay a fine, he need to pay it to both of them, and y'all banned until y'all pay the fine. And I make the fine so high where it's like, yo, they need somebody else's help to pay it. So otherwise, they just never come back. But
Yeah, to
what did they say to that? Like, what? They just
they were basically accepting, they were trying to be they didn't reply, of course, while they were on stage, while they
the
were doing
best
a
way not to, yeah, the best thing
but
not to do. I mean, best thing to do is don't reply. But if you
yeah.
hear it afterwards, you gotta hem that dude up, catch him in the bathroom.
This is crazy. You talking crazy. I'm going to say, yeah, it's definitely disrespectful because, like you just alluded to, Israel, he didn't say it all night. He didn't.
Now he got
If it was
Tourette's. It's
something,
crazy.
if he got
He gonna
selective
have
Tourette
he gonna
syndrome.
he gonna have Tourette's after. Oh yeah, after the show he gonna really have Tourette's. He might be disabled, but
So I'm gonna say it's disrespectful because to me, first of all, he that was already in his vocabulary. Like for him to like say that so comfortably out loud, that mean like Tourette's is you got to learn these words.
right.
So like for him to just say nigga and the b word while two black men of film is presenting an award, and this is supposed to be an award show, you can clearly hear him out the crowd, and he didn't repeat himself the rest of the show. So now it's selective to me. I don't know how Tourette's
That's
work. I don't
crazy.
have it. So for that to happen and continue, and if it would continue, then I understand it was a big mistake. But for him to say
Right.
it just that one time with two black men up there, and he said another word later on in the show, but it wasn't nigga.
Did they
I got an
laugh at
issue with
that?
that.
Did people laugh at that?
No, everybody was quiet. You heard it
Okay.
was so clear, like it was just like a pin drop once he said it. So I'm gonna say, yeah, it's disrespectful. They need to, like you say, maybe they need to pay a fine or something, or
Astronomical fine and be banned. Like, look, both of y'all is banned. You banned for saying it. Whoever brought you is banned too, because they knew you had Tourette's. Yeah. For some places, you just can't bring the disabled. Like,
he's an activist,
they don't.
man.
Nah, he an active disabled person. He need to not be there. Yeah, he could have been there on Zoom. Like, yeah,
Zoom is crazy.
yeah, that's crazy. Some people can't bring in public, no matter how active they are.
Oh my
No.
god. Well, let's switch gears
It
because
sound like
this is
he's a hassle.
still let's switch gears to more of an important things because we mentioned activists, and this is still Black History Month, and as you all know, I have been giving out recognition of like maybe some activists or people who I believe and deem of importance to talk about. And one person, of course, um, that I believe should be recognized is going to always be the founder of the Coptic faith of North America after the Order of Melchizedek, and that is um, Prophet Cicero Lewis Patterson, the King Melchizedek of the Coptic faith. So I'm definitely going to talk about him for a second because we just had Founders Day on
Hmm.
February the 17th. Okay, family. And this is for people who don't know, for my Atlanta audience, for even some of the Chicago audience who I have now that is also uh, um, on the platform here. Uh, Prophet Cicero, or King Melchizedek, he, just a little bit of history. He came from um, Atlanta, Georgia, up to Chicago um, to give us the Coptic way of life, because we don't call it a religion. Um, for those people who want to understand who he is a person. He was a missionary who traveled from. He came from South America, and then he also traveled to Africa, where he got the ideas of the Coptic faith. And every February 17th, we have remembrance service of him. Um, and if you want to learn more, you have to come and sit down and talk to some teachers of the Coptic faith. But a great man who wanted to liberate the minds of Black people, to let them know that they are not less than any other race of people, that they are kings and queens, and that they are part of a royal bloodline. Um, did you want to say anything about Prophet Cicero, Israel?
Man, I think he covered a lot. And also, it takes a great man to come and have a vision and
Mm-hmm.
teach people, especially black people, new ways of how to live and teaching them back to themselves and other
Yep.
ways on how to be able to have more in life, just spiritually so, naturally so. And I wish people took more pictures back then, because this seems like to be the most famous one that we have of him. I may have seen maybe one other or so,
Yeah.
but yeah, I wish people took more pictures back then. In that time era, it don't seem like people were either pictures were just coming out or something, but it don't seem like people were taking many pictures or documenting as they do today.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, like you said, a man with a vision and a plan. He wanted to start the Coptic faith in the South, in Georgia, and telling people around the time that God, they put a color, they actually put an image of God and Jesus, saying that they were Black. And during that time, during that period in time, um, it was a no go, even when it came to him partnering with Martin Luther King, which he did. Um, Martin Luther King said, "Nah, we can't do that, brother. We can't." You know what I'm saying? It got
They
him in
ain't ready
trouble.
for it.
They wasn't ready for it, so it got him in trouble because he was giving the truth. He was teaching. He was teaching and healing, teaching, healing, and prophesying. Oh yeah. So yeah, Prophet Cicero is definitely going to be mentioned as one of the people who I'm going to talk about during this Black History Month, during our founder of the Coptic faith. Like I say, like he was bad man. He was out here doing the Lord's work, and they wasn't ready
Hmm.
for it at that time in the South. That's why he had to come up to Chicago. Um,
I feel
and
like the North probably had more liberated thinking.
probably so. And then if I wanted to mention one more person, and this is the person that I think everybody should know about already, and that person is Huey P. Newton. Okay? Gotta shout out the brother. Listen, these Black Panthers wasn't playing around. Okay? The Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton, some intellectual brothers. who came and formed the Black Panther Party, and they were fighting for the black people to make sure that they weren't being taken advantage of by, guess what, the police and the US
Mm-hmm.
government. It ain't a secret, okay? We have been fighting we have been fighting the so-called lawmakers and policymakers of this country for a very long time. So I need to shout out Huey P. Newton for his involvement with the Black Panthers. Have to shout out Fred Hampton for his involvement with the Black Panthers, because we need more Black Panthers. We don't have them on more. The way that the government is going, the way that our system is going right here in America, we need more black strong men. And that is why I have been kind of naming a lot of black men for these past weeks when it comes to the month of February of Black History Month, to remind our people who watching that there are strong black men who still willing to get down with the get down, because we come from a lineage of black men who actually wanted to fight. Now, not everybody. Some people remain slaves, but there are
Mm.
also our people who wanted to be Nat Turner. Did you want to highlight anybody this week, Israel?
Let's see. Well, when you was talking about who else to highlight, I was gonna say also King Peter for being a successor. You
Okay.
know, because being a successor of the next man, being the next man after the man, right? It's also like some heavy shoes to fill. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody want to pick up the mantle and keep on running, or continue anybody else's work. But to be able to do that and to see progress and progression from where it was to how it got, or continuing to build, that's a good thing.
For sure.
And yeah, from that house came many houses.
For sure. That's a good little shout out right there for sure.
Yeah,
Talking about King Peter, which we also have King Peter Day every December 7th.
December 7th.
Yeah, so definitely had to talk about Prophet Cicero Founders Day. And like I said, if you want to learn any more information, you come learn about, the Coptic faith. That is branching, is growing, you know, it's growing. Um, since we're still on the topic of African Americans, and we're on the topic of that whole episode, because this is the name of the episode, is African American. We got to talk about Jesse Jackson, the passing of one of the civil rights leaders. Um, I'm gonna show him respect. There's a lot of people who I've seen a lot of stuff online that said, "Man, forget him. He set up Martin Luther King and da 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 da." All right, let's get into it. Okay, family. This is an iconic passing because he is one of the last ones. Him and Al Sharpton was like one of the last ones, older civil right activists that we had in such a very long time, um, because everybody else had passed away. Now, I want to say this: in 1988, he did create the term African American. Okay, I disagree with him creating that term because it kind of muddied more of the identity issue that we're having right now as a community. Even the term black is incorrect to describe us as a people. Black is not a nationality, it is not an ethnicity. Black is a color and a power. Okay. So even with Jesse Jackson calling us African American in 1988, because before 1988 they were called Negroes, they were called Afro Americans, they were called all of these other different terms. African American, I believe, still may it tried to connect us to Africa, which is good, but it still gave us more of an identity issue than we had before. And that's just my thoughts on that. I'm not going to disrespect the man if he was part of the COINTELPRO situation, if he didn't push certain things, the uh what was some of his sayings? The I'm black and uh
I am
what was
somebody.
I am somebody, yeah. Um which supposedly he got from from us, from the Coptic faith.
Oh
Somebody said.
yeah, at one point, I'm gonna say he did. He was. I'm sure he probably came to the temple or somewhere around there and
Yeah,
learned something from us and took it, cause like it ain't for everybody. You know,
yeah.
some people come and realize it's either too much or maybe too pro-black or too disciplined. Was some people don't do the robes and then some people don't do the heat and all this other BS. But yeah, I'm sure he made his way to the temple and took something and then don't acknowledge it.
What do you think about the whole disrespect that has been happening online about Jesse Jackson?
uh there's always truth and some disrespect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. But you could say he was, I've heard some people say he was like the house nigga, or compared to I don't know if you comparing him to MLK, but at that point it'd be like MLK and Malcolm X. Jesse, he's somewhere in between with Al Sharpton. Who knows? But I don't know. Like my disrespect thing gonna be like, yo, I'm surprised we lost him before Jesse White, which is crazy because Jesse White, like 90, he been a Secretary of State ever since before I was born, which is crazy. That's at least 30 years. Like, man,
You be tripping.
he almost up there with like Betty White. Let me make sure she gone, cause Betty White every year was like, "Yo, is she? I thought she was dead last year or something."
Oh my god.
You can't tell me you ain't think Betty White was dead 10 years before she was. Let me make sure. Hold up.
Oh my god.
Man,
Well,
yeah,
why
she
he
passed
checked
in
it?
2021. So you can't tell me every year people like, yo, Betty White still alive? Like they thought she was dead. Nah, this ain't
Yo.
Jesse Jackson. Jesse White. Jesse White. I don't know. Who knows? It's something probably about the name White. Man, they
Oh my
living
god.
forever. I don't know, but
I am crying.
man,
Um, well, like I say, I'm when it comes to the whole narrative of maybe him being a house nigga, maybe, but I think maybe also he had to play the cards that he was dealt,
yeah, you gotta play both.
because you have to think about it like this. He's seen everybody near him, close to him, pass away, got by the US government, right?
Right.
Maybe he didn't want to get got by the US government. So I cannot uh blame a man uh who still was able to speak out on certain injustices and social inequalities. I can't speak out against him and say that he's horrible because he decided to live,
Right.
right?
You can say to a certain point, he probably tiptoed to a certain point and be like, y'all know what happened, so I'm gonna
Right.
back back. I'm gonna back off because you know what
Right.
happens. So I'm gonna keep on, he hit you and keep on. Yeah, let me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, so I can't get on him for that. If a man is, when I started speaking out about certain things when it came to even going into religion and spirituality and the Bible, a young at the time, I think she was she an empress at the time? Young lady from the faith had told me, like, hey, Solomon, maybe you should not speak on out on certain things because I don't want you to be hurt, right? And I understand the care and the concern from a black woman to make sure that a black man is safe, right? But if we're going to continue to be too safe, we're not going to progress. I was just having a phone conversation about how men have to be men. They have to stand up. They have to stand for something. And if a black man does not decide to stand for anything, he's going to fall for something, right? And at some point, a black man needs to be strong and have to be fearless in his approach when it comes to bettering and pushing the community to a better state. We have to be brave enough to protect our household. That's the first thing a black man should be
Right.
prideful in. He should not fear protecting his house.
Right.
Okay? A man, period, should not fear protecting his house. And where we at now in 2025, remember we had talked about this on a podcast before Israel that Umar Johnson said that this is the weakest group of black men in American history. And this is so true because now we're expecting a woman to save us.
They be like the strongest man is the anomaly. The strong man is the anomaly, or the rarest. It's a rare to find, cause you got a whole lot of. Let me say this, but you got a whole lot of feminine men
Yes,
who aren't strong enough to take on that type of masculine responsibility, shall we say?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot, because a lot of people, like I say, are trashing Jesse Jackson. Like, he didn't do this and he could have did that. I cannot blame a man for, because at least he stood up and said something. Some of y'all
Right.
that's complaining online didn't say anything.
They ain't right. They don't
Y'all not
still
in
don't say nothing.
politics. Y'all don't say anything. Y'all let the government continue to pass laws. Y'all let the government continue to pass policies. Y'all let the government continue to take away certain benefits,
Right.
even though we know that most white people are on so-called Section 8 and food stamps and all that stuff.
Right. They
Most
just don't be
they
broadcasting it.
they just don't
I'm sure it's a whole
broadcast.
white America the black people ain't privy to. 'Cause, because we in the black land and they own they white America stuff where they don't tell you, you don't find out unless you at the family gathering that they barely have. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So there's an image issue which we already know propaganda of, first of all of the gang movies were propaganda to make more gangsters. They made it gang banging cool. In the rap music, they make selling drugs seem cool. But you can rarely hear an educated person, rapper, who's talking about politics, who's talking about position. You can't even get athletes to talk about what's going on in the world when it comes to the problems that we have in our governmental system. So you got to wake up to this stuff. Why is it okay for them to say how much you gonna kill another black man? That's so cool. You can bump that music all day long. You can put it on the radio, how sexualizing everything is.
Right.
Like you can put all types of stuff about the negative, degrading things of a black culture that can be broadcast everywhere. But the moment you talk about an educated brother or an educated sister or black businesses or black Wall Street getting rebuilt, they don't say nothing. It's so quiet. You can barely hear them talk about stuff like that. But the
Right.
moment I can talk about I'm about to go kill this brother because of X, Y, and Z, it's on channel 2, 5, 7, 9, all of the channels of news where we can get this information. But you have to go and like literally dig to find positive black imagery. Why you
Right.
think that is?
They want it to seem like everything about us is negative. It's just crazy.
So like I said, I'm gonna just
It's
say for
like we
myself.
are the topic. We the trending topic. They don't even matter. They put us in the news all the time because they don't matter. What they say, Black Lives Matter so much. We always on the news.
Yep, yep, that's
But
true.
but they don't tell you about the white lives that's getting snatched up on the north side in the park. Like how everybody getting snatched up by the same dude at the park. Come on now. They ain't learning the first time. Come on now. You man. Look, it's probably the same dude walking his dog at the park up there on the north side, scoping out, cause they can't never find it. Man, they ain't telling you that about the north side.
No, they be finding. They just don't broadcast once they find it. Not for
Uh,
real.
well, they probably know who it is, but don't want to say nothing.
Well, I'm gonna say
Uh,
nowadays the power of the internet and social media, they definitely be telling on a lot of white people now. I be seeing a lot of posts about certain white people, the creeps at the schools, like
yeah,
these.
we need to start
When are
showing
these teachers?
more wrong negative white media. We posting all the negative white media. Like today, little Tommy got mad at his mommy because she wouldn't put cheese on his
Little
double
Tommy.
cheeseburger. So what he do? He blew up the car.
Mm. Yeah, I mean they post about. Well, we know all school shootings and mass shootings. They put them white people right there, and I feel
Most of
like
the time, they
most
be
of the time,
skipping. They
yeah.
don't tell how old he is. Oh, he's a minor, so then they don't post him. What? Come on, we know why he did that. His mama told him no. Man,
Little Timmy couldn't get no crackers out the school, huh? That's what you
right.
saying.
Little Timmy couldn't stay up till 10. He had to go to bed at 9:30.
And so he said he hate everybody and shot up the school.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, well, family, like I say, rest in peace, rest in power to
Yeah.
the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Like I say, like, hey, he there's two sides to the coin now. I ain't gonna say that y'all
Always.
wrong if y'all don't like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that, but I will respect that at least he said something. He's remembered for something, other than just running his mouth. He did something,
Right.
and maybe he did it a little bit strategically better than Malcolm X, maybe a little strategically better than Martin Luther King. Maybe he is part of the reason Martin Luther King passed away. Who knows? Well, we will know. We'll do a deep dive. I'm just trying to get you all to understand that I can't fault the brother for trying to live longer than
Right.
everybody else.
But when you have stuff like this happen, I mean, him
Mm.
passing like he did, then you wonder, yo, so I want to see what his son is gonna do. Will his son live up to his father's legacy? Will he live up
Jesse
to
Jackson
his
Jr.
father? Yeah, yeah. Will he live up to be just as good or greater? That's the stuff. That's what I thought about. I'm like, yo, I wonder what his son gonna do now. You gotta think about the son. I
I
don't
mean,
know,
Jesse Jackson Jr. has been a person already in politics.
but still, it's like, is he gonna be just as good or greater? I
Right
ain't been
now,
paying
he
attention to him,
right now he
but
normal. he
right,
regular.
that's
He
crazy. He
regular
just regular,
politician.
crazy, yeah.
But I think
But and then
going back to the
also
argument.
when it comes down to funerals and stuff, they need to keep that at the hour, boy. Man,
Well, aren't they
I'm.
supposed to have like a whole big funeral for him? Like they gonna shut
Oh,
down
they ain't
like
have it
a.
yet. I thought they had it already. Where
Did
he
they have
died?
it
Where
already?
was he at? He lived in was he in Chicago?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Remember, I think he's like 84, right? He was 84.
Yeah, I think so. But
Yeah,
still, they need to keep that to like a regular funeral time, cause at that point I'll be like, yo, I can't wait to die, cause y'all still got me out here. Like the body is ready to be laid to rest, and y'all got this man 2 3 hour funeral. Boy, they need to
No,
stop
he
that.
passed on February 17th on Founders Day.
Mm. Okay, so his funeral might be next week or this weekend. I don't know.
Yep, he was
But Yeah, I don't like the
84,
long funerals. At this point, I
84
probably
years old.
treat the funeral if it get too long. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, man, funerals be extra long. I went to a funeral. Thing was like 2 hours. I'm like, yo, what?
Olivia, what you talking about? You said Rainbow, student Olivia, Rainbow Beach, or Operation Push. What you talking about? Because that was one of the things he did.
What about that rainbow? But
Oh, it's gonna be this week.
okay,
Okay,
this week,
it's gonna
this
be
week.
this week. Okay.
Yeah, they need to keep that to an hour because 2 hours or an hour and a half, a 2 hour funeral. I'm leaving.
Man, if Obama not at this funeral, I got some.
I'm
I
leaving
got.
Chicago.
I'm talking about Obama.
Yeah, I don't know. They need to just, cause it be crazy. Sometimes it's like you invite all these big wigs to spots. Everybody don't need to speak. Some people should just be there for the more support, and you had the one or two speakers, and let the church roll on. The singers, everybody walk, or you roll the body, however y'all want to roll it or whatever, and then go to the gravesite, cause they be doing too much these days. And I'm like, man, mm-hmm.
Well, like I say,
It's
rest in
crazy.
power to the Reverend
I know. Yeah.
Jesse
Rest in power,
Jackson.
Reverend Jesse Jackson. I hope he have a nice, short funeral. So he ain't, the body ain't there too long, boy. I know somebody. I know if I make a post on Facebook, I know some people that's gonna hate me because I done went to a funeral that was too long. I like, look, we gotta leave. We gotta leave. What they say, you need to leave,
Hey, you funny.
boy. I had to leave because I had to get to the airport. Moving right along.
Speaking of airport, um, dang, I actually didn't think this was gonna be the Obama thing was gonna be the last thing, but I guess we can talk about this now. Since you said airport, Israel, I don't know if you know this, but there has been an unaliving of a Mexican cartel leader. His name is El Mencho,
I heard about it.
who
Who unalive El
supposedly
Mencho?
took over after El Chapo,
Ooh, excuse me. Dang. So who the next man in charge?
the
Dang,
U.S.
they soft.
government. So let's talk about it.
Oh,
So
that's crazy.
Mexico's most wanted cartel boss was unalived. El Mencho, the head of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, was unalived Sunday alongside 8 other cartel members in a
Dang,
U.S. intelligence aided Mexican military operation.
dang. Does that mean the cartel ain't no more?
No, I don't think so. The unaliving sparked a widespread unrest. Suspected gang members torched buses and businesses while clashing into security forces, and they went up into the airport and shot around the airport.
Dang. Yeah, they was mad.
So the tourists supposedly that stranded in the vacation spots, the U.S. State Department urged American nationalists to stay to continue to shelter in place as other parts of the country return to normal. The department's 24/7 crisis hotline for U.S. citizens um, fielded
Boy,
hundreds of calls after several U.S. carriers suspended flights to Puerto Rico.
y'all better stop going to y'all cousins. We can't go to Puerto Rico no more. Look, American cousins cannot see American. The Puerto Ricans can't see their American cousins no more. America got to go find some other cousins. Cause look, us and the Ricans, the Mexicans, Hispanic, it ain't working out. It ain't working out. We need to go to the Africans. Go to Africa at this point. Stop going to Mexico, and Cuba, and Little Haiti. Just leave them alone. They not happy right now. We ain't traveling there.
Well, let's do a little deep dive on this whole situation now. Supposedly, um, they took him out because they need to. The U.S. is implanting some more things that they need to do when it comes to Mexico and the cartel. Remember, the cartel got so big because the government of Mexico were turning a blind eye, and they were also working with the CIA of the United States. So they were having the police in a pocket. And now that, like I say, he came from after El Chapo. So first it was El Chapo, then it was El Mencho, and now they took out El Mencho. It's a whole bunch of chaos going on in Mexico right now. So I suggest people who want to go to Mexico right now, y'all take a freeze on y'all plans
Yeah,
until they get some stuff situated
I ain't
out there.
going to
You don't want to
Mexico.
be.
We got to find a new spot to go to besides Punta Cana. Yeah, besides Punta Cana. And what's that other one? Cabo. Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta go to Aruba or something, or somewhere else.
Well, this is important because this is a whole nother international situation. I love talking about international things here on the podcast because I know that we are not getting that type of news in Chicago, in Atlanta, and wherever you are in New York, wherever you are here in the states. Um, Overstand that there's still the war in Israel and Iran, right? They already took the oil from there. They already took the president of Venezuela. They
Did they
already
ever give
took
them back yet? They just taking
no.
presidents. Crazy.
There was so many stories of so many different it was three different there was three different videos of them trying to say that this was the president of Venezuela, and it was three different videos saying that they captured him, blindfolded him, and stuff like that. So they don't even know actually where he's being held for real
That's crazy.
because they switched up the story so much. But we see right now that there is a whole right before our eyes a whole takeover. The cartel also helped out and abated um what's his name? Jeffrey Epstein. When it came to the island and stuff like that, he also came through Mexico and got those young people as well too. Um, the cartel also, when they were about to arrest somebody, um, they bribed the ambassador judge of Mexico to let somebody else take the fall for a lot of the craziness that was going on when they had one of the people from Mexico or from the cartel got 11-year-old pregnant, and they tried to send another person to jail in his place.
That's crazy.
So the cartel has been going up and through, going crazy with the whole Mexico. That's why that was a big thing why people didn't want to travel to Mexico, is because of the Mexican government being dirty, being in bed with the CIA of the United States,
Right.
and then they're letting the cartel buying up policemen, and letting the police do whatever they wanted to do there. But right now, I just believe that they are going. They This is a U.S. thing. This is not a Mexico thing. Once you take out a boss like that, it was on purpose.
Yeah, definitely on purpose.
It was definitely on purpose. And like I read in the story, it was a CIA and Mexican government operation. They worked together to do it.
Let's see. There we go.
So be careful with people, family, if y'all up here traveling to Mexico. And then also, like, for them to be that bold to go and shoot up an airport is crazy.
Oh yeah, they didn't care at all.
They are radicals. They are radicals. But that's what I'm saying about how they don't play, about the men who don't play. And then most of the men, the black men that are standing up for something, they usually in a gang and they put them in jail. They are
Yeah.
really eliminating, going back to the point of the previous story, they are really eliminating a lot of the masculine energy that the black men are supposed to have for one another,
Right.
um, to be able to protect the women and children in our communities. And this just shows you that even the Mexicans don't care.
They don't care at all.
They don't care at all. They even they know it's wrong. The cartel crazy for sure. They if you ever watch the videos of cartel, they don't mess around. They will
Nah,
chop
not at
your
all.
body up and put you somewhere. They use machetes and
Be a
all.
treasure hunt. It's gonna be a treasure hunt.
Man, they don't play over there in Mexico at all. But yeah, I just had to bring some light to that so-called story because that was crazy.
Yeah.
All right, family. What else is crazy is that they still ain't released these aliens, Israel. I'm so tired of them talking about the aliens. They
They,
won't release them.
they
Can we
probably
release the aliens?
they in between Antarctica and the ocean. That's where they at. Look, Antarctica and the ocean, man. Yeah. They talking about wormholes in the ocean. I wouldn't be surprised. Antarctica, I wouldn't be surprised. Because otherwise, why we can't take trips to Antarctica? To Antarctica. Why?
You funny.
Somebody tell me why we can't take trips
You
there.
hilarious.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, family, there was a small little story. I did not think this was going to be last, but it just happened like this. There, there was a small story that came in where Barack Obama was on a podcast and was asked about aliens. So here's the clip, and then we're gonna talk about it some more of what's going on. Why is it news? Because everybody loves Barack Obama. So let's see what he has to say.
Are aliens real?
Uh, they're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
That answer quickly generating 26 million views online and lots of follow-up questions.
Is this something
So yeah, uh, he said a lot, but not saying a lot. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. So you
So
inadvertently
one thing
answered
he
the
said
question.
inadvertently answered the question, and so remember, Israel, I know you had asked, like, okay, when did Trump say something about some aliens and stuff? So it says this come from BBC. Trump directs the US government to prepare release of files on aliens and UFOs. Um he says he will direct the US agencies, including the Defense Department, to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files on aliens and extraterrestrial life. Trump made the declaration in a post of Truth Social after he accused Barack Obama earlier in the day of revealing classified information when a former president said that aliens are real on a podcast. He's not supposed to be doing that, Trump said, told reporters while he was boarding Air Force One. He made a big mistake.
Like,
Asked if
look,
he also thinks aliens are real, Trump answered, "Well, I don't know if they're real or not." That's what Trump say.
that's
All
what Trump
right.
said. He don't know if they're
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Obama said they're real, but I haven't seen them. So he's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, it's real, but I ain't seen it. So can you really say it's real? Because he ain't seen it, unless there's a conspiracy that they've hidden from the president. And like, yo, they're real, but I ain't seen them. So it's like, you can say that. You can say that. People can say that about God. He's real, but I haven't seen him. Like you say, have you looked in the mirror? Have you looked in the mirror?
Yeah, when it comes to this whole situation, I'm going to go ahead and, of course, stand 10 toes down and say, we know that the aliens are real. Man, if you smart, you know that there's other extraterrestrial life.
Yeah, they just invisible, like my background sometimes. There might be one right here. You see? See how they're just going in and out. They got that, what they call it, camouflage? Or some type of,
Yeah,
yeah, they just in camouflage. Like this
we
is us
have
on the regular. They camouflage, they regular.
we have extraterrestrial DNA family.
We're the real
They already
ETs.
yeah, well, they already told us, science has already broke it down that we are the aliens. Okay.
Plot
Um
twist.
that's the exactly that's the plot twist. So why is this even news? Why are we even mentioning it? Family, everybody wants to mention something about Obama. You saw what the thing said, 26 million views off of a podcast because he said, one, the aliens are real and they're not in Area 51. That's really what he just told
Most
y'all.
likely they are in Area 51. Cause what? Why would you
I
bring up
don't
all
think
the
they
Area?
are.
What you think Dr.
Oh,
York
you
from
want
Area
oh
51?
you wanna know where area 1 through 50 at, huh? That's what you saying?
Right.
Maybe they did like Area 51, they at Area 52 now, huh?
Right. Or they probably got Area 51 for people like Mark York and what Dr. York and all the other powerful people like him.
I believe he's in a base in Colorado. I could be wrong. I forgot. I
That's
gotta look it
probably
up.
where Area 51 is. Why where else would it be? It gotta be in those places where it's little to nothing. Colorado, Utah, Nevada, they got all them canyons and what they call it, the Grand Canyons and stuff like that.
Well, remember we talked about the Grand Canyon. They said once you walk down there, you'll be able to get to Africa just by walking.
What?
Yeah, actually walk the Grand Canyon, and you'll end up in Africa. But remember how the coastline used to be before all of the water had drowned some of the land out, right? Because everybody was like, well, how was so many indigenous American people, which are the black people, the copper people, the people that are brown skin, okay, family, follow along. Those people, how were they able to come from Africa to the Americas without boats and ships? Well, before all of the water got in the way, you was able to walk. If you keep going north towards Canada, you walk over, there was a landmass you can walk from Canada over to Asia, which can lead you to Africa.
I
Okay.
didn't know that. That's
Pull up
crazy.
if you pull up a map of the United of the world map, and you just follow a trace along where you can go from they used to walk from Africa to North America.
Mm.
That's how
So
they
you
did it
think they?
before ships
So
and
what
boats.
happened to that landmass? They broke it
They,
off.
it went into the water.
Oh
It's
snap!
still there. So like let's say like if you look up the world map
Hmm.
and you see some of the land that's underwater, it used to be above water.
So you think that's
One
like that?
movie one movie that showed this Israel was Moana. You ever seen Moana?
Yeah. I gotta
Remember
rewatch it.
how oh wait. It was Moana. It was a short before Moana. I think it was called dang, what was it called? Um when you go to a Disney movie, they show a project right before the movie. It was
Okay.
a project where they showed that these two islands were falling in love with each other. Woman Island, Man Island. And they got sad because one of the islands went underwater and they
Okay.
couldn't talk to the island anymore. And then the island came back up. They show this stuff in movies if you really want to break it down. But the landmass, because of water, because of glaciers, because of the ice, you're gonna flood. So let's say we got global warming. Louisiana is the state that got the most that's mostly under sea level. That's why New Orleans and everything, Baton Rouge, a lot of people move out of Louisiana because of how much water continues to flood. That's what happened to Hurricane Katrina. They didn't have anything to block all that water, right? So if we continue to go down global warming and we continue to go down global warming and stuff, sea level water gets to rising, we will flood. The United States as a whole, like some of our states and cities, will have more water in it.
All of that down there is gonna be underwater.
Exactly. So that's why a lot of that stuff, like they don't want melting, for real, because a lot of the landmass will be underwater. So that is what happened to the trail where the ancient people were able to walk from Africa to North America. This is possible. This is true. All you have to do is look at the landmass.
It ain't no way for that to reverse that, is it? Either.
I mean, we had an ice age already, so that would be the only way. If everything like freezes up, the water freezes back up.
But
we have to make the water
up. It's still under there.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was something else. Dang. Something else I was gonna say.
But yeah, family. I'm just ready for them to go ahead and stop playing with us. Release the aliens. Release the information. You got Trump talking about it. You got Trump talking about it. You got Obama finally saying something about it. You know,
he could probably say something because he ain't the president no more. So
yeah, they say he. That's what Trump said. He said though, like he wasn't supposed to say stuff like that. So, family. But yeah, like back then, like even when it came to the Pangea of all of the continents together, you know, that's even the story of in itself as well. So, but when they start breaking up and you see the coastline, all you have to do when you want to see how the world was looking, all you have to do is just look at all of the continents and how it's shaped together. The only thing that they did when it came to, and we talked about this on February 17th about the topography of the world map, is that they making it seem as though Africa was smaller than what it really is. Africa is actually bigger than what it really is on the map.
Right.
And that's why when it came to Egypt and Ethiopia, they call Ethiopia Upper Egypt, and they actually call Kemet Lower Egypt, which would be crazy. Be like, how is that upper and lower if that one's north and that one's south? Hey, you got to learn to unlearn. Some of this stuff that we think is directional isn't. So yeah,
that's crazy.
All right, family. I love when we get kind of deep into that stuff. That'd be cool. Yeah. Family. Well, guess what time it is?
What time is it? It's time for Ask the Pharaohs.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got some Ask the Pharaohs. We got 2 questions this week, family. And let's just start with the first question. Because we talked about a little bit of it earlier in the episode about the fraternities. And this question comes from the student Olivia, and it says, can you serve God and still be in a Greek fraternity or sorority?
That is a good question. What's your thoughts on that, Pharaoh?
All right.
What's your thoughts, King?
Okay, so when it comes to Greek fraternities and stuff like that, understand that a lot of this stuff is European. Now, if we talking about what type of God you're serving, are you saying, can you say that, you know, you serving a black God or a God of indigenous practice or an African, Ethiopian or Egyptian, whatever word that you think of when it comes to a melanated God? I believe it's like this, right? There are certain practices and certain things that you do when it comes to, and certain rituals that you do when it comes to joining a frat. or join or be in a sorority, right? I'm not going to say that you can't, but I will say do your research on the actual beginning of whatever frat that you are part of.
Fraternity, sorority. Do your
Yeah.
research. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got to do
What
your
you go?
research on it.
Yeah, I think my answer to that, you got some more, or you gonna continue?
No, go ahead.
So I'm gonna give two answers I've always heard. When it came to that, it was like I know from my dad, he's like it's always good to have be in a good brotherhood. You know, it's always good to be a part of a brotherhood or something like that. And then because it's like you got an open network of more information and more sources that you could possibly reach out to, you know. And then my granddad, he would say, you can't serve two masters. So there comes a certain time and a certain point, even when it comes to masonry, Masonic and Masonic stuff. And is it the same? What is it when the women are
Eastern Star.
Eastern Stars, yeah, Masonry and Eastern Stars. At a certain level, it comes to a point, however deep it is, because I can't speak on too much because I'm not a part of those type of sorority or fraternity. But it comes to a certain level where you can't serve two guys. You know, you can't have two masters. You either gonna do this one or you gonna do that one. And you could say sometimes it all ties in, but then again, it don't always all tie in. Cause one gonna need more than the other, or it's like you gonna be split into two, or you gonna have to put more time in one and less in the other. You know,
I
break
thought
off
she was
however you
mostly
may.
talking. I thought she was mostly talking about like the alpha kappas, AKAs, and stuff like that.
Okay. Uh, still statement stands, but with that, it's always good to get into a brotherhood, a good sisterhood. But I say my answer it opens up. What was the original question? Let me answer.
Can you serve God and still be in a Greek fraternity or
Okay,
sorority?
okay. I
Uh,
say yes, you can, cause it's in a you like a part of another organization and it helps out with the network. You know, if you trying to just get in my opinion, overall, you need to be about the networking and the resources that come with it, not just to do it just to say you're a part of it. You know, find a deeper meaning or whatever to it too. And yeah, you gotta all in a sense. I say you just gotta make out time for it. But we get to the deeper levels and stuff like that. You can't serve two masters. Next question.
okay. Okay. Next question is, and this comes from the deacon Nehemiah. And this question is, what, in your opinion, is the evolution of church from years ago until now? I
Oh
like that.
man, that's a good question, man. I be thinking about that all the time. I got a different vision if I was to become a leader, but I say with the evolution of then and now, I say it's more so, in my opinion, more so structured and condensed, and where it was more. It wasn't more of a fashion show, but more of like more discipline, and I say that it's a word I'm looking for, not just discipline, but it was more,
Organized?
yes, I say organized and structured to the sense of where, all right, everybody wore this, everybody wore that. You had the prince, the princess, the empress, and the queens, right? Very generalized and very, all right, boom, you either prince, princess, empress, queens. Or back then you got the prophets, the queens. And then when King Peter came, you got that princess, the prince, the empress, But what I'm talking about, where it was real structured and organized and easy back then, was you had those. That's what you are. Not like, yo, I'm the satellite king Pumbaa this, or I'm imperial this, or like it making it so structured. Like I get it, but when you building, it's like now it's difficult to build, and everybody want to be all these stars and diamonds and all of this. At the end of the day, making it more difficult than what it need to be when it comes to, if we trying to look uniform, right? And that'll
Mm,
take me towards where I would do, but I'm not. But in my thought, but on today it has become more of a fashion show in my opinion. Like I get it, you want to look nice and everything, but sometimes people just be wearing stuff just weird and don't even think about, okay, like are you actually doing anything? Can you actually move? Can you clap? Can you sit down with this? Like back then, it was cool. You had the black, you had the robe, you sweat it out, shout it out. It still worked. It's hey, you can wear it all year, and yeah, I think that's my 2 cents on it. But if I was to do it, I'd be like, yo, you are who you are, right? You got the queens, you got the empress, you got the prince, the prophets. All of those degrees, if you're an empress, all the empress are wearing this. You the prince, y'all are all wearing this. Princess, you're all wearing this. Prophet, you all wearing this. Too easy. And then you just follow in where you get in. Not, oh, this one gotta have a star here, diamond here. You gotta have this, that, the third, which is cool. But then it's like, yo, you got too much going on.
yeah.
That's just my 2 cents. But yeah, what's up, say you, Solomon?
So, in my opinion, okay, so the evolution of church has definitely changed from belief to knowing, right? So we're not with the same hold. Hey, what I say, just believe what I say and take it of face value, but actually, now it's about research. Don't believe what I say. Read it for yourself and get the understanding that you need of what is being taught. It might be a little bit more political, because mega churches, they are always in. Remember, I said earlier how the athletes and everybody, the wealthy people, are
Mm,
not into politics like that. But the mega churches are all about politics, if you really think about it. And that's that kind of what helps the church grow too. Like if you know your alderman, if you have ties to the city council, stuff like that, your church can kind of get a few more benefits than most others. So I would say the evolution of church has changed from a lot of just, uh, it wasn't as negative too. I will say that as well. Church back then was like a must to get saved,
yeah.
quote unquote. Nowadays, everybody believe church is a choice.
Church is a
Um,
chore. That's what they believe.
is a
It's a
choice.
chore, a chore, a chore, and a choice. Cause I think I took my answer a different way from where you taking it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think they believe like church is a choice, and I think they believe it's a chore too.
Yeah. So,
Continue.
um, but I think that's where the evolution of church has went come from years ago. Like a lot of people believed in the pastor, leader, or whatnot, and a little bit more, had a little bit more faith in that person being a representative of God. Nowadays, people have turned everything more business like I say, probably a little bit more political than it used to be back in the day. And that's my 2 cents on that.
Mm.
All right.
I'm gonna add. Hold up, hold up.
Go
I
ahead.
think also for the evolution of church, people haven't. It isn't as active as it used to be. Like back then, it was the church, people lives. Like from what I hear from the older prophets, they were like everything we used to do was around the church. We was doing this for the church, with the church, by the church, church on Saturday, class on. I mean, church on back then, church on Sunday, class on Saturday, Friday night service. Then they'd have rehearsal, choir rehearsal somewhere in between that. And now it's just like church on Sunday or church on Saturday. And then church next week Sunday, church next week Saturday. And you'll hang out with the people probably in between there because you eat the family, but y'all ain't doing nothing dealing with the church for real. And wondering why the church ain't growing, or wonder why we ain't got no real new members outside of who is old enough to be a student because they old enough to be a student, but they not real new members. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right, family.
that's
Well,
it. Those are only two questions.
those are the only two questions we got for this
Y'all need some more
episode.
questions for us, man. Give us some more questions.
All right, family. We have the newest segment that we have this year. It's called this season, and it is called Thoughts from the Pharaoh. And how Thoughts from the Pharaoh go is, hey, it could be a Bible scripture, it could be a rant, it could even be encouragement. Me, Israel, and I will go back and forth each week, rotating and giving you all our thoughts for that week. And this week is Israel's time to shine. So, Israel, take it away.
Man, so I had a conversation with an older gentleman on some motorcycle stuff this weekend, and he was telling me about the places he was traveling, him and his club was going to. I like, yo, I dig it. I'm about that. And because they like, oh, we going there to support them, they come support us. And I was like, I like the traveling thing because I like to see my people. Like I've been happy on the traveling lately to see my people. And that's because I want to see them while they're still alive. So my message for me to you is see your people while they still alive, and not when they dead or when they sick or they about to die or when they down. Cause it's like, okay, you only thinking about me when I'm down, but you ain't come and see me when I'm up. You can't come see me just to see me because I'm good, see me because I'm alive and well. And one of the things I remember growing up, it was like we always traveled going south, and it was a funeral. So I asked my dad one time, I'm like, Dad, how come every time we travel, it's because somebody died? He was like, I don't know, son. That's a good question. Kind of stumped him. So since then, I've been able to be mobile. And because of my profession, not just that, but probably even before then, before I started traveling like I do now for work, it was like I see people along the way, right? Like driving trucks across the country. At one point, I see my family in Cali, seeing some cousins out there, seeing some friends in Phoenix. Nothing was wrong with them. I was just like, hey, I'm in the area. Let me come see you. Boom. And then seeing people up in Louisiana, or see my friends in Ohio, or even making it to where my job put me where I want to be. I'm like, hey, I want to be in Chicago for the weekend. They're like, all right, cool. Go see my parents, see my brothers, my sister, my mama, my daddy, nieces and nephews. And I'm seeing them while they still in good health and alive and well, and not because they dead or they down and sick. And my worst thing is people will travel to see you dead versus when you're alive, and that is crazy. You can ask them when they coming to visit. You could extend the invitation and have all the space. You live in like 2, 3, 4 places, and they ain't come and visit you once. But the moment you drop dead, they calling off of work. They traveling across the country. They want to come and pay their respects, which is crazy. You should do that. I would rather you see me alive than see me when I'm dead. Because I know for sure, whenever I do go, I want to be cremated. I want to be cremated. We can have a memorial. If you ain't spend time with me while I'm alive, you ain't gonna spend time with me while I'm dead. So, yeah. With that being said, the memorial gonna be real short. If I still die anytime, hey, it's gonna be an hour, and then y'all keep it moving because you should have been kicking it, chilling with me while I was still alive and able to see. That's my two. That's my 2 cents.
All right. That's your thought. I agree with that though. You got to, see people before it's time to get up out of here. Like, come on now, get these people they roses and they flowers while they still here, man.
Right. We
Create
always saying,
memories.
"Oh, I should have, yeah, memories. Should have called. Should have seen them. Should have, could have, would have, but you didn't."
Yeah. All right, family. That will do it for episode 75. We did that 75 episodes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. um, I'm your host Solomon, and you can follow me on Facebook at Solomon Walker. You can follow me on Instagram at CJ Walker 103. And if you want to get your book published, you want to write something, reach out to me at cwalker1582 at gmail.com. Israel, where can people find you?
Man, y'all can find me on my email, Jonathan, what, John ATL621.com. Find me on my website. Currently is down at JonathanJohnson621.com. You can find me on the Pharaohs Podcast. Find me in the streets. If you know where I be at, you can find me. You can find me at the Vine. Whenever I'm gonna be in the Vine, you can find me there. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Definitely email us, family, if y'all have any thoughts. Ask the Pharaoh questions, and just anything. If you guys want us to talk about a certain topic or story, hit us up. Email us at the Pharaohs Podcast at gmail.com. And guess what, family? If you ain't able to sit here and watch us, on a Monday night, because I know people be at work and they busy and all that stuff, you can find us on Spotify every Tuesday. Okay, it's like clockwork. Okay, every Tuesday we on Spotify, and you can hear this episode and many other episodes on Spotify right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, family. With that being said, we'll see you later. Peace.
Peace. E-Town down. Wouldn't like that.